Alrighty, folks, check it out. So it's about noon right now on the East Coast, and all the indexes, well, you guys saw the title, they're selling off. We have the Russell down 0.3%, the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the S&P 500. All of those are down about 0.5 to 0.6% each, as we have the VIX up almost 4%, and it looks like the metals are also up. Gold's up 0.3, and we have silver up about 0.75%. So in this video, we're going to briefly talk about the markets like we always do, and we're going to talk about some stocks that are moving and the PPI data, which is causing the markets right now to sell off. So if you guys find value, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe and get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo and up to 12 stocks from Webull. It is free money, guys. Who doesn't like free money? Linked right down below. And now let's dive into it. So you guys see on the screen right here the volatility that we've had in the markets today. It's pretty crazy. Triple Q in the pre-market was almost at 310. It was at about 309, 310 almost. And as the PPI data came out, which came in hotter than expected, markets ended up collapsing from 308 roughly here on Triple Q all the way down to 303 at the intraday low. And get this, guys, we've actually recovered quite a bit from that intraday low. You guys see Triple Q went from 303.70 to now 307.50. It is up over 1.2% from that point. And SPY is also up a decent amount, which you guys know tracks the S&P 500 from 408 in the intraday, or that was the intraday low, 408, to now where it's at about 411.60. It's up 0.8%. So talk about volatility, guys. I mean, this thing is still down on the day, but it is recovering a little bit after being destroyed in the pre-market after we got PPI data that was hotter than expected. It rose 0.7% on the month of January, while economists surveyed by the Dow Jones expected a 0.4% increase. And the PPI is a little bit different than the CPI, which we got, when was that? About a week ago, whenever that was. And that came in at 0.5% on the month, 6.4% annualized, if I remember correctly, for the CPI. PPI, on the flip side, it's a little bit different. It measures the average change over time and the prices domestic producers receive for their output. In other words, it is a measure of inflation at the wholesale level that is compiled from thousands of indexes measuring producer prices by industry and product category. The index is published monthly by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, also known as BLS, and the PPI is different from the CPI, which measures the changes in the prices of goods and services paid by consumers. So CPI came in a little bit hot. PPI came in almost double what the expected 0.4% increase was from the Dow Jones. So there's no wonder why the markets are seeing a bit of a sell-off, right? That's not the best sign overall. It's a sign that, hey, maybe inflation isn't cooling off as the Fed, wants to see. Maybe the FOMC, Jerome Powell, maybe they have to, raise interest rates a little bit further than expected. And that's kind of what the markets maybe are pricing in right now. Obviously not to the fullest extent. I mean, if Powell came out tomorrow and said he's going to raise rates by 75 basis points or even 50 basis points in the next couple of meetings or whatever, hypothetically, that would cause the markets to collapse, in my opinion. So they're not fully pricing in higher rate hikes at this point just because of the PPI coming in a little bit more higher than expected. So it's not that bad yet, but we'll see what the FOMC has to say about it. We'll see what Jerome Powell has to say about it. And obviously, it was enough for the markets to sell off a little bit, to get a little bit antsy. And that's what we saw in the pre-market. And we are seeing, if we pull the 20-day up, we are seeing a higher low here at about 408. The previous was at 404.50 here on SPY. Let me actually show you guys this. So, in other words, we're still in this wedge. We are still in this wedge, as you all can see it, as I'm outlining it right now. You can see 408 held at a higher low. Now we're starting to bounce back up to the top of the wedge, which, you guys guessed it, we held a lower high in the pre-market today. So what direction are we going to pick? That is the million-dollar question right now on SPY. On Triple Q, you guys can see Triple Q also is holding the bottom of the wedge. So where the heck are we going to be going? I mean, this is it's pretty much a waiting game at this point. Are we going to break out past 310 on Triple Q, take out 314, maybe see a leg up from that point, or are we going to dump under 300, 305. And is SPY going to end up taking out, let's say, 415 to go to 420 plus, or is it going to fall under 405, 400, and from that point see more selling pressure? So PPI hotter than expected. That's what we got today, guys. And overall, in terms of individual stocks, well, we're seeing a lot of selling in a couple of names. Really, just one name, at least on my watch list. It is Shopify. This stock is getting clobbered today, guys. It is down 16% on the day. Unbelievable. Looks like here the head and shoulders that we had outlined, well, that's playing out. You guys can see very clearly. We talked about this yesterday, I believe, when the numbers came out. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. Now, the right shoulder has pretty much completed here down to the 180 SMA. And do you guys not remember what I was saying about Shopify yesterday when the numbers came out? I told you guys, look, I'm looking to maybe pick it up as a short-term trade if it were to come down to the lower 40s, 40, 41, 42, and we're pretty much there. We're a stone's throw away from 42. 42 is currently at about 44.80. So Shopify right around here, I'm actually looking at it. I'm not, of course, going to just dive into it today and, just get into it the day after the earnings came out. I'm going to wait a little bit, let the dust settle, and we'll see what happens at about the low mid 40s, maybe tomorrow, maybe at some point next week. I believe Monday. Actually, yeah, Monday we do have the markets are closed. I believe it's President's Day on Monday, so next week we do have a shortened week. But maybe next week we could catch a move here on Shopify. Maybe as a relief rally. Short-term bounce type of play there. Let's see what else is selling off today, guys. We have Meta coming down a little bit, which I think Meta looks pretty decent, especially if it holds 170, but I'm not trusting that it will. I feel like, we might fall under that point, and then we have a long ways to go down. And even if it were to go down to 155, 150, the uptrend would still be intact. That's how crazy this rally of Meta, on Meta has been. It ran all the way to almost 200. Now we're at 175. Even if we were to fall under here and gap down to 150, 55, the uptrend would still be holding. That'd be a spot where I'd consider buying the dip personally as a trade. That's just my thought. Same with Shop. It's kind of in the same, Shop's a little bit more oversold than Meta, but Meta's in that same camp. If it comes down a little bit, it could be a buy the dip candidate, at least in my opinion. We have NVIDIA, which I don't think is going to be a buy the dip candidate. I think it's still pretty overbought. But if this were to come down to, let's say, 180, 185, I'd consider it. And honestly, are you guys not seeing this bearish divergence? I mean, I'm seeing this all day right now on NVIDIA. This is not looking good. I feel like this could be setting up. You guys see that on the RSI right here? This could be setting up for a dump on NVIDIA. Maybe if, it comes down 180, 185, 190, that could be a spot for that particular stock. What else is selling off here? We have Snapchat. Pretty much everything, guys, across the board is selling off. Snap is down a little bit. 1.4%, but this still looks like it is holding trend. It's trying to fight past the 50 SMA here at about 11.15. Let's see what it ends up doing at that point. We have Airbnb. If we talk about, to take a look at some green stocks, guys, Airbnb is up on the day. It's up 5%. It's up even more after reporting earnings. Was that yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday, right? Or the day before. Either way, this goes to show the strength in the move. Yeah, that was the day before yesterday. Airbnb reported the stock went from 120 to 135, went up again yesterday, and again so far today it's up. That again goes to show the strength in the stock here, and it looks like it does not want to sell off. I mean, this thing is very overbought. There's no doubt about it, and I've been calling for a pullback the past day or two, and I've been saying, let's see if the dust settles, but clearly it doesn't want to settle. But if it does come down to, let's say, 125 again, 130, that'd be a more attractive spot, at least for me here on Airbnb. What else is moving, guys? Let's see. JD's moving on the day, the Chinese company. Let's pull that up. The chart does not look that good, so let's see what else. Humana, however the heck you want to say it. Humana's up a little bit, 2.3%, not too bad. Tesla, of course. Tesla's up on the day, guys. I mean, come on. Tesla's up another 0.5%. It's chilling at 215, and I get comments all the time, guys. And I'm not a Tesla hater, nor am I one of these Tesla cult members. I've said this before. I'm kind of in the middle on Tesla. I can look at it with an unbiased perspective because, to be honest, I don't really have much skin in the game. I'm not an Elon Musk cult follower, nor am I an Elon Musk hater. So I feel like I can look at it from an unbiased perspective. And I get so many comments on TikTok, especially. If you guys aren't following me there, make sure to go follow me at Stas Talks Stocks on TikTok. Everybody's like, not everybody, but a lot of people, even here on YouTube, they're like, oh my God, Tesla's going to 500, 400, 600 with no pullbacks just because it's gone up from 100 to 200. They think it's going to go to 400 now, 500, 600. I'm like, sure, that could happen, but it doesn't necessarily work like that, guys. A lot of people just get so caught up in what happened in the last month and a half, they tend to forget what happened the 5 months prior to that, which Tesla in the 5 months prior to that went from $315 down to $100. It got completely clobbered. Now people are saying it's going to go to $500 again, 400, 600. On what? I mean, on what fundamental basis is it going to go to that level now? I mean, on what? If robo-taxis come out, if the Cybertruck comes out, if they do this, they do that, which they're not doing. I mean, yes, they're going to be doing that at some point in the future, but it's not here yet. So, I mean, I'd understand if you make the case like, oh, 400, 500 is coming. If they had the robo-taxi, already rolling out, Cybertruck was coming in, the cheaper model of the, what was it going to be called? The Model 2 or whatever the heck, that's rolling out. But none of that's really, sure, they're going to start production of the Cybertruck in 2023, but you guys know how that goes. I don't really know. So for me, I disagree with people saying, oh, it's going to go straight to 400, 500 this year. I mean, I'm getting these comments every day that Tesla's just going to go up another 100, 300% or 200%. I'm just not buying it. Sure, maybe in 5-10 years, but this year, I think that's a little bit far-fetched. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo and up to 12 stocks from Webull. Link down below. All those are affiliate links, guys. Keep that in mind. So when you get free money, free stocks, it also helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys. You guys, as always. Clearly, I need to drink some more coffee today, guys. Don't forget to check out the Patreon as well. Link down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.